you, Vixens fans. Welcome to Vixens Live this week, brought to you by our great friends at Deakin University. It's fair to say we are back by popular demand.
We are. I'm so glad everyone loved it last week. We loved doing it. Yep. And the best thing is, Super Netball is now back. Round one is been done. What a round it was.
It was a huge round. Great to see the girls back on court at John Cain Arena. It was a really special round as well because we had a few debutants, and I might give you a hint, Bianca. They may well be today's special guests.
Well, we don't just need training footage anymore because we actually will have game day footage of these two. Please welcome Hannah Mundy and Ruby Barkmeyer to Vixens Live.
Go wild.
Let's talk about, firstly, playing at John Cain Arena on Saturday. What was it like when you stepped out there? You started, Hannah. What was it like when you stepped out there in that first quarter?
Oh, it was a pretty awesome feeling being out there. So surreal, and a couple of years ago I was in the crowd, so it was a strange feeling, but I think once you got out there, all of the nerves sort of went, and it was just such an awesome experience.
And actually, at what stage did you know you were starting? Because obviously you knew you were in the team in the week leading up to it, but when did you actually know, I'm going to actually start?
Simone told me the training the night before, and I was like, okay, so it gave me time to process it, but it was.
Then you got to sleep that night. I mean, that's hard.
I didn't sleep.
Hey Ruby, I want to ask you, so you're driving to John Cain Arena. What was the sort of feeling like as you're driving in your car to potentially play your debut match?
Yeah, I actually walked.
Oh, you walked?
So I'm not living far from John Cain Arena,
wow.
so I walked.
That's cool. Right.
Yeah.
Or because her car broke down.
Oh, that's another story, I feel.
No, it was pretty cool, I think. I felt pretty calm before the game. I think the training session before got all the nerves out and I was, ready to go. I walked in and, it was pretty cool. I think it was, it was all new arena, so I played Fury there, but it was completely different experience walking in now and, getting ready for a proper SSN game.
So then there you are, sitting on the bench, and Simone decides to bring Kayla off, says, Ruby, it's your time to shine.
Is that what she said?
Just paint a picture. How does it go? What goes through your mind?
Yeah, no, I chatted to Simone before the game and she said, be ready to go on. So, I was warming up and then I came and sat down and, I got told to warm up again. So then, it was about within a minute I was out there on the court and I can't actually really remember what was going through my head. I forgot everything.
Can you remember your first game?
Yes, I can. I had to play against Vicky Wilson. So this shows my age because I think I was 16 years old coming up against Vicky, who was in the last year of playing. And one thing I do remember is I had my hands up over 3 feet and she threw the ball and it hit me in the head, smack bang in the middle of my head. And I'm like, did she just do that deliberately? I was so embarrassed. But anyway, lucky that we've got no footage of that today. When you found out you were in the team, because I want to take it way back, because I believe that, usually when you get a contract for the Vixens, you get to sit down with Netball Victoria and Simone and they talk you through what your contract's going to look like and that they want you as part of the squad. But because of COVID, none of that could happen for you, did it?
No, so it was actually a Zoom call with Simone and Beck, and I guess we were kind of just chatting, and then straight away Simone just said, we've got a spot for you in the 10, and I was kind of just like, oh, cool. I didn't really know what to say, thanks. And it was pretty weird experience because I guess most people find out, I guess, in person. So over the computer was a bit strange, and I think the girls had just got home from the hub, so I hadn't actually chatted to Simone for a while. So it was a pretty cool experience. Yeah.
You're like, they just won the premiership now. They need me.
Yeah.
And a cool experience for your families too, no doubt, sitting in the stands. Hannah, I want to ask you and speak about your mum and how excited she was because she has a real affinity with netball in this state.
Yeah, I think she was obviously really proud, but we didn't really communicate that much leading up to the game. I sort of was just like, but I think, she was almost more nervous than I was. But I think we just separate that personal and netball life. But
Actually, I've got to apologise because I feel like in the Nine Netball coverage we did mention Shelley
Shelley's
O'Donnell
name.
every single time we mentioned your name. So apologies for that. Hopefully the more you get out there and now
It's all
the
about
less,
Hannah now.
the less we'll talk about your mum. Because I'm sure, I mean, you probably have got used to that anyway throughout your junior years playing for Victoria. Everyone always probably comparing you to your mum. Do you find that? Or would you just be able to deal with it and move on?
Yeah, I think because we have a different last name, not a lot of people actually sort of caught on for a while. And yeah, that sort of helped me just sort of go out there and not like think about it at all and just play my own game. Yeah.
And Ruby, what about you and your family? Did you have a lot coming down from Bendigo to watch you?
Yeah, and I think too, because of COVID, they had a year off netball as well,
Yeah.
so they were, I think, more excited than me to be actually there. They got there really early, so yeah, they were really excited too to I guess see my first game. Yeah.
I think we should check out the highlights because
Absolutely.
it was a bit of a dramatic kind of opener, round one opener. There was plenty happening on the court and no doubt a tough opposition up against the grand finalists from last year, the Fever. They sort of had a bit of revenge on their minds. Is that fair to say, Bianca?
Yes, and they're definitely starting the season off behind. Obviously, we know it was minus 12 points that they're starting off after the salary cap breach, but look at this here. Incredible super shot by you. How did you feel when you sunk that, actually? Because, I mean, if I was a goal, I'd want to be taking super shots all the time.
I don't actually think, because I think Courtney jumped, so I couldn't actually see the ring, so I kind of just put it up and was like, oh, I hope this goes in.
Ross is going in. And what was a standout for me, Hannah, for you was feeding, like your connection that you had with MJ, especially in that first half.
Yeah.
Is that something you've worked on a lot at training?
Yeah, I think MJ and I have a pretty strong connection. I think it did drop off at times, but yeah, it was quite easy to see her and see where the option was. Just sometimes needed a bit more mayo on it, but we'll work on that.
And was it, I mean, we spoke a bit about the atmosphere, but was it really intense and loud on court? And how did you deal with that?
Yeah, I think when I first went out to warm up and have a shot, it was really bright. Like the lights, I was like, God, it's really bright. And then when the music started playing, I was like, God, I've never played with this much sound happening or this many people. So yeah, it was a pretty cool experience. But then I think what Hannah said, we kind of just blocked it out once we were out there.
Yeah.
And were there particular players, more experienced players in the team that, pulled you aside and had a bit of a chat with you in the lead up or, when you're out there on court that calmed you down a little bit? Can you dob anyone in? Who was the one that, came up to you and you were like, you'll be okay? Or did they just let you run?
I think MJ all week was kind of just like pumping me up, like, come on, like, you've got this, like, we'll work together, like, we've got each other out there. So she was really supportive all week,
nice
which is
is
really
that?
sweet, yeah.
What about you, Hannah?
I think definitely Kate Maloney was my little buddy throughout the week. She was, just because we worked together, so she was always supporting me and I felt really comfortable on the court with her. But yeah.
Well, it was unfortunately a first-round loss for the Vixens. We'll get to that very, very shortly, but let's check out the scores because it was a 14-goal loss in the end and the fan-voted MVP, Bianca, you would take great delight in this because it was...
Katie Ann Dehaney. She was brilliant, especially when she came on in that third quarter. I mean, you two would have seen it firsthand, just how incredible she was taking on Janelle Fowler. It was the two Jamaicans on each other. She brought a complete different vibe to the court. And it was her long arms. I think she's got one of the longest arms probably in the league, but her ability to get up and get a hand to some of those balls was super helpful for you guys.
Despite the scoreline in the end, there was a momentum change when that change happened. Do you felt that as well?
Yeah, there was definitely. And even you could see West Coast Fever became quite reactive. Alice Teague-Neal came off the court. They put Sasha Glasgow on to try and change it up. You could see that they were a bit worried about what was going to happen next because you, and especially the two of you as a combination on the transverse line, you were really finding your groove and you were getting comfortable. And did you notice Fever change the way they were defending you because it was getting not too easy for you, but you were certainly getting comfortable?
Yeah, I think a few patches where we thought this is really easy where we're hitting circle edge, but then they did really quickly adapt to it and we couldn't keep doing the same thing. We did have to, communicate and change things up because it wasn't always going to work the same thing. They did quickly realise what we were doing, yeah.
And did you notice a big change in the intensity and the work rate when you got out there? Like, I feel like whenever you step out into whether it's playing for Australia or playing for Vixens, it's a huge change compared to the practice matches that you would have played in the lead-up.
Oh yeah, there's not 1 second where you can zone out.
Yeah.
You always have to be on your player, and Simone's especially pretty strong on that. As an attacker, you still have to defend and put the arms up. So, you can never
I think it was
rest.
even playing the pre-season games was another step up from that.
Yeah.
Like stepping out on court the first time in the pre-season game, I was like, whoa, but then a real game, you're like, whoa, like it's higher.
Whoa.
Yeah.
To both of you, we've been digging deep. We've been sort of scratching around for side stories, back stories. We're going to sort of learn a bit more about these two after this message from our great friends at Deakin University. Every single course there is backed by industry experts, so you can be confident you'll get the job you want with a degree employers want. Deakin University, progressive, real-world learning.
Now, Hannah, Liz Watson dobbed you in last week because she said that when you got the call up to the team that you had a shift at Spotlight on Saturday, which is obviously your casual job that you do away from playing netball.
Yeah.
How did you go when you rang your manager and said, oh, sorry, I can't make my shift on Saturday?
Oh, it was a pretty tough decision. Like, I didn't really know. No, but she's actually a fan of netball, so she was pretty excited for me as well. But I do have a shift today.
And did you work Friday night as well before the game?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. So that was your game day prep, was working at Spotlight?
Yeah. No, it was relaxing. It was, I guess it's that other space outside of netball where you can just clear your head. But yeah, I had a shift today.
And what's your actual role in store?
I'm with the furnishings department, so if you ever need curtains or blinds, I'm your gal.
Custom sizes?
No, that's a different service. That's a bit higher than me.
Okay, right.
Can I tell you, one of my first jobs was at Target in Chadstone.
Really?
In the Manchester department. So I feel like I've got a bit of an instant rapport.
What job do you do outside of?
I actually have worked at IGA, my local IGA in Kangaroo Flat. That was my casual job.
So were you on the register?
Yeah, I was on the register. My brother was the fruit and veg guy, so we worked there together.
The family, yes.
Yeah.
My first job was at Rebel Sport.
Oh, you've got a cool job.
Doing the footwear, like having a try shoes on people.
Oh, that's great. Okay, so let's talk about pathways. You both come through the Netball Victoria Pathway program, and you obviously have a great rapport because of that. You played a lot of netball together. Did you sense that on court at the weekend?
Yeah, I think when Rubes came on, it was just that level of like knowing each other pretty well and like understanding that, you know, where each other are going to go. And yeah, I think that connection kind of showed
We
a
have
little
this thing
bit.
every time we come on together. We just do like
Yeah.
certain centre pass. And
We
straight
have
away
this
we're
one
like,
that we
let's
do
just it.
every time. Yeah. There's a little hand signal. We won't give it
Yeah, don't give it away.
No secrets.
But yeah, we kind of, I felt really, I guess knowing Hannah was out there and I've played with her before, I guess just go out there and play like we have before,
And so what teams have you played in together?
In the Netball Vic 17 and under Vic team, and then we got TRD and went to Nationals together, and then Fury 2019,
And those Victorian sides were always really strong. I mean,
I think we made the grand final.
Yeah, we were pretty unlucky. We lost that one, but
That's right.
Good one.
traditionally speaking,
You just bring back
I mean,
bad memories.
they're not going to sleep tonight. Oh no, what have I done here? What have I done?
Now, I believe the girls say go Rubies. Do you get that a lot because of that HCF
that
ad
TV
that
ad,
happens throughout the netball? And rather than say go Ruby, they are constantly giving you a bit of grief. Go Ruby.
Yeah.
Do you want to just shut that down now and say, girls, I've had enough of that? Can you please stop saying that when you're...
It's actually quite funny because I think it was Taylor Honey didn't actually know it came from the TV ad. She just thought everyone was saying it. So I don't think they actually, most of them don't actually know the story behind it. They just kind of go along with it.
Well, because that's right. You're usually playing while the netball's on. And for all the fans at home, when you're watching, you see is it Colin Jenkins? Is he the coach?
Yeah.
And believe me, when in COVID watching the netball last year before I went to Brisbane, how many times did we see
Yeah, always on TV,
So you don't mind it, the girls?
No,
can keep
it's
playing
okay. I
if you
don't
like.
mind it,
And
it's
one
okay.
more perhaps before we move on, netball idols. I want to ask you both about who you admired growing up, who you had posters of in your bedroom. Do you still have those posters up?
Hannah still has hers.
no, I don't. No, I don't.
Yes.
No, I don't.
Hang on. I believe, was it last year that you had the 2014 Vixens team? on your wall?
It was just a filler, I swear.
A filler?
Yeah.
Come on. I
No.
thought we were better than that. We're not just fillers on a wall.
Oh, no, you're wrong.
Only because I was part of the team. So, did you grow up barracking for Vixens?
Yeah, I think I was a pretty strong Vixens fan. I had the ears and the cape.
And I also remember Hannah at coaching clinics, because Hannah would come to a lot of the coaching clinics, you know, when you were tiny as well, when you're 5, 6, 7 years old, and we would often be coaching Hannah. So, of course, you know, we've all played our part in Hannah's career.
And Lips, what about you? Who did you admire?
I think Sherelle,
Yeah.
definitely Sherelle McMahon. I think when I was growing up, she was kind of always on the TV for the Diamonds and the Vixens. So yeah, I've always wanted to be able to shoot like Sherelle when I was growing up. Yeah,
And now she's your shooting coach.
yeah, it's pretty cool that I get to. Yeah, she gets to tell me what to do every day at training. Yeah, no, I love.
Does she
having Sherelle.
ever, you know, get aggressive or get angry or yell at you or anything like that, or is she always just the Sherelle?
Nah,
cool,
she never
calm,
really. Yeah,
collected?
she's always nice and cool and calm, which I think is really nice having
We
someone
must
like
have been
that.
doing something
yeah.
wrong in TV land. When I worked with her, she was always getting angry.
Yeah, I mean, that's the side of Sherelle.
She likes to actually join in a lot too, which is nice. Like get
Oh, does
involved.
she?
Competitive streak.
And just say, this is how I used to do it, so this is how you should
Yeah.
do it. Is that right?
Yeah, no, she's always, you know, I'll show you, like, I'll demo, and then like, yeah.
And the other assistant coach, Di Honey, she's had a huge impact on your career too.
Yeah, I played with Di's daughter in my 12 and under Vic state team, and then I went to Grammar, and Di was the head coach while I was there for 3 years. So yeah, I've had lots to do with Di.
Well, before we focus in on this weekend's opponent, another word from our great sponsors, because they are the lifeblood of the Vixens and also Vixens Live at Deakin University. Every single course backed by industry experts, so you can be confident you'll get the job you want with the degree employers want. Deakin University, progressive, real-world learning.
And so when we talk about now, we're in season, you've got games coming up. How do you prepare now? Is your routines completely changed now that you're in the team and that you're getting ready for the next weekend? What's the training schedule like? How do you fit in all your life around it?
Yeah, I think the training schedule does vary on the day that we play. So I think we're we're obviously still getting used to what sort of training we're doing on each day and what days are our recovery days. But I think just the same routine, I guess, going into the first game. I think just trying not to think too much about it, I guess, and just, go out there and have fun and enjoy it and not get caught up in anything else.
And Hannah, what's the hardest training sessions that Simone usually dishes out?
Oh, we had a pretty hard one last night. It involved giving and going and just, if you were caught not running, then we had to sprint.
Did she do also, like, I remember she used to do where you had to do so many centre passes in a row, and if you stuffed up, you have to start again. Does she still do that?
If your goal is miss or a drop ball, you start again.
It's brutal, isn't it?
Yeah, I dropped a ball last night and we ran.
It's so harsh, but actually it's that intense training that sets you up for whatever's going to happen come game day.
Yeah, for sure.
And at what stage do you said you had performance analysis already today, but at what stage do you then start looking forward to Sunshine Coast Lightning?
I think the core work session in the middle of the week, we sort of focus on the strategies that we can implement. But other than that, we try not to focus too much on the opponent, although it is an important part. We do try to just focus on our game and just putting what we know we can put out there.
So, sorry, I was just going to say, so it is Sunshine Coast this week.
Yes.
What's your opinion on them, the Lightning, from outside looking in? Clearly, they've just got that really consistency each and every year about them. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, we played them in one of the practice games earlier in the year. So we've it's good, I guess, personally to have some experience against them, and obviously they have a really strong goal defence in Carla. So I think, they obviously have been really successful in the previous few years. So I think, going out there and probably focusing on us more than them and what we do well, and going out and executing that.
And to all the Vixens fans out there, if you did miss the season opener, don't worry, you have another chance this weekend. Bring your mum along because it is Mother's Day. It's at 1 p.m. this Sunday at John Cain Arena, where the Vixens will be taking on the Sunshine Coast Lightning. Now, don't give it away, but have you got your mum a Mother's Day present? Have you organised all of that? Because no doubt you're going to be dragging your mums along to the netball on their special day.
That might be Mum's present.
Yeah,
Coming to
Yeah.
I'll get Mum a ticket. She can come.
True. Anything from Spotlight? Or...
Nice
There was actually a photo that was taken by the photographer, and I was going to frame that up for her, of her, just in the crowd. I thought she'd really love that, but no, I haven't got her anything else.
Oh, it's all about you guys, don't worry about it.
You can always get some last minute flowers, but don't say they're last minute flowers. So you always plan it that
There's
way.
a lot of love going into this. Actually, just before we let you go, what has been, or I want to know more about your teammates, right? Because when you come in as young,
Basically, dish the dirt.
Dish
right
the
now.
dirt.
Yeah.
Who is the funniest? Who do you go there and just laugh at all the time? Who's the most amusing when you're out there? Not on court, but at training, around the team.
Probably.
Everyone's pretty funny,
yeah.
but
No, they're not.
MJ
Oh, come on.
is very funny, and KD. KD
Yep.
provides many laughs.
KD.
Just the way.
Just because she's random.
yeah.
Just
She just gets the camera out and starts filming you, and you're like,
Whoa.
She does love TikTok, doesn't she?
yeah.
Yes. What, are you both TikTokers?
Oh, this is TikTok queen.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
What's the TikTok
good.
content? Like, what do you focus primarily
Are we
on?
dancing?
Oh, a bit of a dancer.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm kidding.
No, Go, please share. Please share. Who are you?
At Hannah Mundy.
And have you managed to get Simone involved in a TikTok yet?
Not yet, no.
I reckon that
We're
should
gonna
be
lay
your
down the
aim.
challenge.
Yeah, that's your challenge this year. You have to get Simone dancing in a TikTok.
Yeah, right?
Okay, do you
Done.
think that's doable?
Yeah.
No more appearances
Dunno.
on Vixens Live without Simone
because
McInnes.
we won't tell her, even though we're live, but we'll make sure that when we do get her on Vixens Live as a guest, that we'll be able to showcase it to all
Yeah,
our
that's a good
okay?
idea.
So even if you
We'll
do it
send
on
it
the
to you
slide,
privately.
send it
Yeah.
to us and we'll put it on.
Yeah.
But shh, don't tell Simone. Sweet.
Well, big match this weekend. We're really looking forward to it. We'll both be there.
We'll both be there.
Yeah.
I think Sunshine Coast Lightning, pretty good lineup that they have. However, I think especially defensively, I think you guys are going to have them covered. Down in the attack end, Steph Wood, Cara Conan, they were brilliant, I thought, against Magpies in cruise mode. So Joe Weston, Emily Mannix, Katie Ann, step it up
Yeah, watch out.
and take on that challenge. But I think it's going to be a cracking game.
Yeah, I think I can feel a win coming on.
I can feel
I can
it.
feel a win.
Yeah.
Come on, ladies.
Yeah.
The positive
Let's get it
vibes.
done.
Yeah.
First win. Let's do it.
Thanks so much for joining us. It's been a real pleasure learning more about you. And were you nervous coming in here today?
A little bit.
More so than John Cain Arena last weekend?
Yeah. What's more nerve-wracking, debuting at John Cain Arena or debuting on Vixens Live?
Vixens Live.
Yeah.
Live, yeah.
We're so intimidating. So intimidating.
Look at us talk ourselves up.
Absolutely.
Anyway,
Mike.
thank you everyone for joining us on Vixens Live tonight. We will be back next week. I'm not going to tell you what guests we have. However, I want to thank you two, Hannah and Ruby. It's been awesome having you here, and you might get another gig later on in the season if you're lucky. But thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you again
Happy
next week.
Mother's Day to everyone.
Happy Mother's